Hi everyone. Sailor Merc I mean Sailor Jupiter Sailor Neptune, Sailor SeaWorld, Michelle here. And today, you know, I'm gonna talk about, why folks made a big deal about us being nearkin. Oh, I know we talked about it many times, but so folks made a big deal about us being nearkin because they thought it didn't match up with what was being said or what was being done, or mostly what was being done. Now, a lot of folks thought that Pioneer, like Deke before them, they thought, oh, they should have left it alone. Well, nowadays, that might most likely be true. But back then, there was this fear, I guess, or worry that the folk works at this time would have been, why TV and cartoon would have not, know how to handle two unstraight sailor fighters, even if they weren't doing anything that was wrong. And if it wasn't the folk works they were worried about, they were also worried about any bearers or teachers or worship elders who happened to be watching it with their, watching it, and would freak out and say, oh, well, I think it's wrong that you got two folks who are unstraight in a show. And they need to leave it at that. Or they might make such a big deal, they might somehow get a hold of YTV and cartoon and keep bitching until they drop the show due to folks being unhappy with it. For whatever grounds they chose to make us nearkin, and even though some folks thought that wasn't the greatest choose in the world, it was greater than not doing it at all, I guess, back then. And some folks will say, oh, well, Viz didn't have to do anything. Yeah, well, by the time Viz got the rights to work with what Sailor Moon they got the rights to work with, they didn't have to worry about all that. The stand, the mindset, the trusting, the forgiving, the understanding was where it is now, or it wasn't before. So now it wasn't a big deal anymore. At least not with some folks. So that's why Viz didn't have to do anything with it. So yes, in Sailor Moon's world, we were nearkin. And it didn't say, how old we were. It didn't say like when we were born or why we were always around. And we said it came up once that, yeah, we grew up around the same time. We always saw each other when we were younger, so we had this bond. And yes, there are folks in this world who do have near bonds to their near kin, some more than others. Take it as it is, And a lot of folks said, oh, it's not matching up to what was being said or what was being done. And yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, are there folks out there that are still making a big thing about it? Yes. There are still folks out there who are making a thing about it because they thought the past should have been where the now is. And a lot of folks out there, some of them didn't like us, not only for being nearkin, but our whole mindset behind, oh, we gotta get to Hardhurst. Who cares about who we have to yield, who has to die, or shit like that. Yeah, I get it. That wasn't, looking back at it, that mindset wasn't good. But you got to keep in mind, we learned the world was coming to an end. We didn't know what to do. And all we thought was, yes, there's Harthurst, and we have to get them. And sadly, that was by any means needed, which was not a good mindset to have. we were doing this to help the world. And when we should at least had more care, and we should have at least thought about it more and said, yeah, if we do got to take a heart hearse from someone who's going to die, at least we have to make seem we're doing it for the greater good. And yes, even Serena Sailor Moon told us that if folks did everything they could do, then lives shouldn't have to be yielded. And if we thought about that, then that wouldn't have happened. Well, keep in mind, before we end this film, me and Amara, I gotta get the light back on in here. Fuck. And keep in mind, at the time, me and Amara, we didn't even know that we were the holders of these heart hearse that everyone from, the Death Blasters and us were looking for. If we would have known that we had them, then shit, we wouldn't have gone through all the things that we did. And then we get scathed for how we handle Ataru, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Ringworld. Once again, yes, that was our mistake. All we saw was, oh, she's going to come to life, she's going to awaken, and end the world. If we would have known all the shit that was going to happen before it happened, yeah, we wouldn't have handled it a little greater than what we did. Yeah, we made some mistakes. Alright, give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll see you later.